I'm not helping.
Hi, and welcome to my Q&A video. And I'm very weird feeling about talking to myself about myself, but here it goes. Okay, my first console or computer. My first console was a PlayStation 2, but the first consoles that I was playing was Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, and GameCube was all before that, and those belonged to my brothers, so I was allowed to use them too. I got third level priority while they got first and second, so yeah, those were the consoles that I started with. First game you completed? First game I completed was Banjo-Kazooie, and the last game I completed was Banjo-Tooie. I'm not very good at games, so I kind of give up halfway through most of them, but that doesn't mean I don't love them. First game you fell in love with? Perfect. That would be Donkey Kong Country 2 or Super Mario World. I'm thinking Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3 because there's Dixie Kong, and Dixie Kong you could like float with her hair, and that made it so I died less often. Why are you in India? Yeah, so right now I'm in Canada because I'm visiting my parents, but I do live in India, and I live there because my boyfriend lives there. He's Indian, and I moved there to live with him for a bit. So yeah, it's been very wonderful. I love it there. I really, really love it there. When did you start drawing? So I started like anyone starts when I was like very little. I feel like every kid is an artist. And then like most people, I got discouraged based on criticism from other people, whether it's teachers or family or whatever. I think most people also go through that where they feel like they're not good. And then I got back into it when I was 14 or 13 and slowly have been, I wouldn't say necessarily improving, but what's improved is my own perception of my art, and I think that's the most important thing. It's not about your skill, it's about whether or not you are liking what you make, hands down. So that's what's been improving over time. I appreciate my own art and I have a lot of fun with it, so yeah. Have you ever taken your drawing seriously, or is that also a hobby? I've considered briefly, like maybe I'm meant to be an artist, but I really don't think so. I need a little bit more than that. I can't just draw all day long. I get a little tired of it. So yeah, I've considered it, but I think I still have some confidence issues, and I know my ability is not that of a regular artist. Like I can't draw things particularly realistically, so I just sort of settle with my own ability and pretend that's a style. That's sort of my secret. So I kind of want to make a video on not how to be good at art, but how to like your own art. I think that's, as I said, that's the most important part, and that's what makes art so enjoyable for if you're serious about it or not. So yeah, it's just a hobby, and it'll always be a hobby. I'll always be doing it. Have you ever ran into problems over there in India? None. None at all. So not that there aren't any that exist in that country, but I live in a really good area. I can go out alone, no problem. I can take cabs or rickshaws on my own, like that's all good. I'm very wary of certain areas, certain times of day, like you learn how to look after yourself. And yeah, I've literally never run into any problems. Sometimes people stare at me, but that's because I stand out. That's about it. So, no problems. Do you belong to any game dev communities? I do. I've advertised it before, and I always put it in the description of my videos. It's called the Game Developers Network, GDN, and it's just a Discord chat that I frequent. Right now I'm only just in that one because I feel like if I was in like more than one, I would have no time to do anything else. I would just spend all my time chatting, and I wanted to like really make friends in a place and actually frequent a place and just like get to know the people there, and I find that's harder to do when you're part of a lot of different spaces. So if you want to come, I know a lot of people have asked if I'm starting a Discord or if I should start a Discord or whatever. I think for now I would just invite you there. Like, come on and join, it's in the description and you can find me there, and if you want to chat or meet other people, it's a really good spot. So. Genre of game you play most? I would say first-person shooter on PC, or I guess, yeah, PC. Yeah. That was my biggest like dive into the deep end of gaming, was Counter-Strike 1.6. Oh my gosh, I spent so much time on that game and never really improved at all. Like, I'm still very bad. But I really got into the surfing communities and like the bunny hopping communities and the KZ communities, like the jump maps and stuff. That was like, I spent so much time doing that. And then after Counter-Strike, I got into Team Fortress 2, and then I got into Left 4 Dead, and ooh, Portal was really good. Doesn't really count as a first-person shooter, but you know, like the Valve games I was so into. And then when Overwatch came out, I had made the switch already to Mac, and it's not Mac compatible, and I was like, ah, it's like the perfect game for me. So I put Boot Camp on my computer, and I play it occasionally, but it's rough. It's not good to play on a laptop. So I actually installed it on my dad's computer in the basement, so I play it there from time to time. But yeah, love Overwatch. And I don't play first-person shooters on console at all. I can't aim with the joysticks. I'm just like mouse and keyboard kind of girl. So long-winded answer to, I guess, shooters. Yeah, first-person shooters. What programming languages do you know? I work in web dev, so HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP backend is usually what I use. Like SQL, does that count as a language? And then in school, I've learned like Java, C#, C, C++, Python. I feel like everyone knows Python. You can just know it. You just look at it and you're like, oh, it's English. Where are you from originally? I guess Canada is the answer to that, or like my genetic background is sort of Irish, English, British, Scottish. Any favorite YouTube channels, art or game dev related? So I haven't been diving too deep into the game dev industry yet, just because when I spend a lot of time looking at other people's stuff, I feel vastly inadequate and like get super conscious of what I make and just like overthink, and it's like it's not very good for me. So I do watch videos here and there. I really like Game Maker's Toolkit. I really like, obviously, Bracky's has got excellent tutorials, and there's some other game dev channels out there that I've taken a look at, though not like gotten really deeply into. And especially on Twitter, I follow a lot of game dev people. I'm gonna link actually below some of the people that I really like the work of, so you can see all of those in the description. What other art media do you use? I mostly am doing like paper art. So I use fine liner, black pen. I like to use pencil and pencil crayons, watercolor as you know, and I like markers recently, like Crayola markers. I'm really cheap, so I just buy like kids supply, art supplies, and I just go to town. So I can show you if you want some of my art. Maybe I'll do another video where I just show my other kinds of art. If you're interested, let me know and I'll put that together. I'm a certified yoga teacher and have been doing yoga since 2010, but I don't actively teach yoga, and this is also how I met my boyfriend. My favorite food is broccoli. My favorite genres of music are classic rock, heavy metal, Bollywood, jazz, and trance. I drink my coffee black and my tea with milk. If I were a sea creature, I would be a sea turtle. If I were a bug, I would be a grasshopper. If I was a tree, I would be a birch tree. My favorite fruit is a blueberry or mangoes. I love how I said plural mangoes, but a single blueberry. My favorite show of all time is Dragon Ball Z. My favorite band of all time is Led Zeppelin. I am an avid meditator, and I love fantasy novels with unique magic systems. Some other questions came up about my YouTube channel in general, and why I started a YouTube channel. So basically I started because I needed someone or someones to hold me accountable, basically, for a project, any project that I was working on. So I am notorious for starting things and not completing them, so this was a way I could sort of start 2 projects at once, YouTube and game dev, and then sort of have them be codependent so that they support each other. Like, seeing all of your comments and your views and everything on my videos really does keep energizing me to keep going with my game. So thank you for that. And it's working just as I planned. So my plans for the channel in the future are, well, I want to make more videos, not just strictly game dev vlogs, but other videos relating to dev and art and game dev in general. So I mentioned that I want to do some videos on my art process, or what I think about, or how I do my art that might be helpful for you, or just other things that I've done. If there's anything you've seen that I've done so far in my devlogs that you find interesting or you think I could elaborate on, then I'm happy to do that. A couple people have even mentioned that they wanted to see more India in my videos, so I'm totally happy to do that, show you around the place that I live and the food that I eat and the things that I do and where I go on my walks. Like, totally down for that. So let me know what you're interested in seeing, and I'm happy to expand my horizons when it comes to these videos. And finally, someone was asking if I'm considering doing this full time, and the answer is hell yeah, that would be awesome. So I don't know if making games and selling them, it would be viable as the sole source of income for me, just because I don't believe that anything that I make would be that good that a lot of people would buy it. But I have other options for support in mind. I'm not really sure, but I think if I can get maybe a bunch of streams together, then it could be a viable full-time gig for me, which would be so cool and freeing. So if you see me putting out different support options out there, let me know what works. I'm gonna be completely transparent about it all, and like, it's totally optional. And if you feel like you want to support me, then eventually maybe I could turn this into something where I can support myself financially while still making these. So I'll let you know as it comes, and we'll see what works and what doesn't. So if you have any other questions or thoughts or ideas, let me know in the comments. I'm like super excited to hear from you guys, different ideas for my game or videos or questions, so let me know. And if you like my videos, please subscribe and give me thumbs ups and comments, and join the Game Developers Network. I want to see you there. You can find me, I think right now my name is Mulia, like a cow moo. Maybe I'll change it back to Julia, but I'm there in social and you can find me, and I'm looking forward to it, really am.